Welcome back to the Poison Touch Advice Hour, the podcast where Glacian and Munchlax give you all the best and worst advice to deal with all of life's predicaments. It's August, and the months are truly speeding and hurtling faster than ever before. I feel like it was just January last week. And I'm joined by, as I said, Glacian. This is Julez Osco. Julez, how are you?
Hello. Oh, hi. I'm very happy to be here. We're happy to be here.
I'm very happy to have you here. Wait, hold on. Wait. This is for the video only girls.
Ah.
You
Oh my
could
gosh.
watch full videos over at the Patreon. That's patreon.com/poisontouchpod, where we are showing off our Pokemon plushes.
I want to say this is a long time coming.
It is. I was going through my, so like I keep like a kind of like a short list of people that I want to have on the podcast eventually. And you've been on the list for a while. And it just is never scheduled out because people kept on, I would reach out to people and it'd be like, I'll take this month. I'll take this month. I'll take this month. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I just kept on like, it kept on going further and further and further. Cause like for some reason people like to have like either months where they have like a birthday thing, or sometimes if I'm working with like fellow creators and they have like something that's coming out in that specific month that they want to like promote, they'll do like things like that. But we're here. We're here. It's a long time coming. It's August. It's Leo season, which I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings about Leo season. I don't know why I made that face.
Are you a Capricorn?
No, I'm a Virgo. My birthday's next month.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
fun.
But I'm like the least Virgo. I don't make plans often. I like a list, but I don't
Yeah, I
plan
was like,
much. I'm a mess.
you have an outline, and
Yeah, it's
that's
it's a rough
level one.
outline. So Jules, give us a little intro. The girls may know you. You are a drag queen, a go-go dancer, a photographer, videographer, performer, an artiste in many
Yeah,
ways.
me
So
too.
let's talk about it.
I also made this carpet, this little rug, the
Is
donut
it a
rug.
donut? I love that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've just been staying busy. When like one aspect of like my art starts to catch on, like the others like kind of take a back seat. So I would love to paint more. Um, but speaking of like work, I released a show poster yesterday.
I
I'm very
saw, I
excited
saw.
about. I've been working on it since like April. Like working with Charlie's, and it's called Vinyl. It is a celebration of the best albums of all time. And basically, ever since I was little, I loved doing events. I like loved decorating. I loved like curating shit. When I was little, I wanted to be a wedding planner or something. So I love vibes, and I think that's like why I like do drag and go-go and all that stuff. So when I was planning this first show, I was like, it'd be cool to create a vibe in the bar that like takes you back in time. So like, so our first album is going to be Blackout by Britney. So all the performers are going to perform the whole album, and like in the middle of it, we're going to be like playing like all 2007 songs. We are going to have some trivia on like Britney and like other 2007 like pop
Okay.
culture relevancies and stuff like that. And yeah, this is the first show that I'm producing all on my own. The other shows that excuse me, that I've hosted, uh, I've like been added to, and like it's other people's shows that I've like co-hosted with them or like taken over.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm really proud of that.
And when is what's the date on that again?
It is August 29th. It's going to be the last Thursday of every month.
You hear that? So if you are in Chicago, head out to Charlie Chicago for vinyl. This as we just said, Britney Blackout. Be there.
Yeah.
Are people encouraged to dress in the era of the album?
Absolutely. I will say I've been like Googling trying to find like 2007 like New Year's glasses. Like I've like cringy shit like that. If you want to wear low-rise jeans, that's your prerogative. Um, yeah.
So do
I
it.
thought about like trying to find like an Obama t-shirt, like weird,
Really,
like
the pieces to really transport you into the
yeah,
2007.
yeah. Uh,
Cool.
like like I love the fantasy.
Yeah. So that's get into it. Wear the lows. I better see denim on denim. I want to see the Obama t-shirt. Honestly, if you can't find a 2007 New Year's glasses, you can always like hodgepodge one together,
Yeah, I
like a
get
little
yeah.
modeling clay, and like really just let that bitch dry out.
I should yes, I
You throw
should.
glitter on it, and they won't tell that it's modeling clay.
You're right. Um, I yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to do that because I think the we are in a world where we cannot wear New Year's glasses and they
Because of
look good.
woke. Because of woke.
Well,
All because woke.
yes, and because the zeros don't make that.
Yeah,
There's no like
the
zeros.
zeros are messed up now. Now it has to be like if the zeros are there, there has to be like the little twos above it,
Yeah.
and then or like where it's two, and then the one eye is a zero, then the other one looks really fucked up because it's like a seven or
Let's go back to the good old days where we had New Year's glasses that had
literally
eyeballs.
back to the odds. I mean, for five, it's not going to be that bad because the circle there's like a half circle in the five, right? So
Yeah, but the
that's
two
not.
is gonna mess it up.
I know the two's gonna be like right over the nose. They have to be shifted over like this, like 20, 2, 0 over one eye, two, and then five. Oh, hideous! I can't. Disgusting. So, how long have you
We
been doing drag and go-going and all that? Like, what drove you to even start?
good question. So I first did drag in college, and that was like for a fundraiser. Like I wasn't even out yet, and like it was encouraged for like people in my dorm to like do it for the fundraiser and all that stuff. And I did it. It was like crazy, but I first started doing it like seriously in Chicago after college when I graduated. I couldn't find a job, so I was doing DoorDash. And one thing about me is I've been like stuck in many ruts my whole life, but like as long as you keep doing something and keep moving, like something good will come. So like I just couldn't like just be like sitting down at home just waiting for people to call me for call me to for interviews and stuff like that.
Gigs,
And
interviews, jobs. You gotta
yeah,
keep yourself
so
busy.
and at the time, like Omani and I were close, Omani Cross,
Friend
and
of the pod.
and like I talked to her about like what show should I do. And my first show in Chicago was a show called it was at Jackhammer, Jackhammer, right at 2 a.m. on
Yeah,
a Monday.
I didn't even know
And
Jackhammer had drag shows.
right, they don't have it anymore, but
So you were like Bette Midler performing in the bathhouse.
no, I was not in the hole.
Oh, okay. So you were performing in the hall. Okay.
They had a little stage. Um, but yeah, I started doing drag just because like I couldn't find a job, which is ironic because you don't make any money. But drag and performing and doing all this stuff is just a big networking game with queer people.
That it
And
is.
I saw that and I was like, I need to like get out of my house. I need to be doing something. And I liked drag a lot. I liked dancing, and so I did that.
Nice. It's community. You're right. It's community. It's networking. It's meeting people.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that people who are quote unquote drag fans, but only ever, like interact with Drag Race don't understand about like what it is to be in like kind of a drag community or just like even just like a queer community and like interact with people in real life. Like they just don't get it. And so I think sometimes, especially with the way how some people come off on the show and what is like a villain now, it's like, no, that's not a villain. That's just somebody, they're just
Yeah.
bantering. That's just banter, like
Yeah.
this is just how the people talk in the clubs.
There's a lot of heart, and like all the reading that we do is not just like knocking people down or all that stuff. It's about community. It's about like admiring someone's art, like pushing each other. I don't know. It's more than you're wearing a bodysuit. Uh,
Yeah. Not to say that people can't just do it to be cunty and like be mean, because that, some people are that way. But
I-
yeah, you're right. Like it is
mhm.
way more. That's
But
some
not
people just don't
us.
get that. Yeah, not us. No, I would never. Truly, I would never. I'm always nice. I'm no. You know what? Let me not. I'm going to redact that statement. I will not say that I am nice. I will say that I am kind,
Yeah.
and you can put that in your
You.
books.
I saw how kind you were when you like yelled at me at the Lucky Horseshoe.
When did I yell?
You didn't yell at me. I just was trying to
Okay,
get your attention, say hi, but you thought I was an annoying customer.
I do
Um,
that a lot. Honestly, I'm sorry. I don't look up. I
no,
do
it's
look up, but I see out of my peripherals, so oftentimes I don't see who it is. I've done it to my boyfriend several times now, where he's trying to get my attention. I'm like, I give him the finger. The finger is always
yeah.
the first one. I hate it. That's just how I am. I'm sorry. I'm jaded now. um, I was gonna say something. I will say that I'm kind. Like yesterday at the bar, this customer ordered a couple drinks and then kept on flirting with me, and it was very incessant flirting and very forward flirting. But guess what? He didn't tip me. So instead of cursing him out, I just ignored him. That's me being kind. That's me being kind. I'm just gonna ignore him
Oh,
instead of being rude. I'm gonna just gonna zip it, throw the key away.
people don't understand. You can get away with a lot by having a big tip.
Yeah, give me some cash. Give me some cash, and then you could talk your shit. That's all I ask. But
I
if
was
you're
at the
gonna
bar.
not tip, girl,
Oh, I was at the bar the other day, and you can cut the story out because it's horrible. The what people will say to drag queens. I was drag doing like photos and stuff like that, like at Charlie's, and this guy comes up to me and says like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I was telling my friend over there that I'm getting a boner looking at your butt." And I was like, and he,
would you say that to someone that isn't in drag? Would you say that to someone at a bar?
no,
Not engaged, not working. You know what I mean? Let's just think about things before we interact with
right.
performers.
He-
Let's think about
He's like, "Is
that.
that inappropriate to say?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Highly, highly,
yeah."
yeah. Do you pad? Like, was it
No,
or was
yeah.
it
I
okay?
mhm. It was
like
so
you,
it was fake.
sir, you're looking at a couch cushion. I'm getting a boner looking at couch cushion. That's JD. That was JD Vance, and JD Vance was the one who said it. Let's
Wow.
yeah. He
Clock the
saw
eyeliner.
he saw the couch cushion. Said, "Let me get some." That's what I need.
Wow. That's wow.
You also do photography work. Might I add, fantastic photography work. And
Oh, thank you.
John and I are in the process of finding the perfect frames for the photos that you took of us.
Aw.
We're like, John has a very specific vision about how things have to look in the apartment. So we have the photos chosen, and we're just trying to figure out what kind of frame to put them in. Uh, yeah, I'll post them once they're in photos. I'll post them on the Instagram and stuff, and I'll
Yeah.
probably put them on my story so that when this episode comes out, they can see. So if you're listening, I'm gonna hold myself to this. The day this comes out, I'm gonna post the pictures on my story so you can check them out there. But yeah, how long have
No,
how long have you
they were
been
so
into photography?
sweet.
They were really cute. I had such a fun time doing that too.
I've been doing photography also since college, but professionally, I've been doing it for about 2, 3 years at the studio. I started so so like I said, I work so much. When I was in college, um, I I hated okay, I hate bosses, which is why I am my own boss right now. Like I'm
Fair.
self-employed, whatever. In college, I had some jobs like at libraries and stuff, but like want I didn't like it. So I would do weird jobs, and one of them was taking pictures for graduation, like taking graduation photos of people, whatever. And that's how I first started. Was I just needed to do something.
I feel like a lot
Um,
of the photographers that I know started doing either graduation photos or headshots. A lot of them are like started just doing college headshots for people that needed to get it done. So
yeah,
you're
please
definitely
do.
not alone.
And then I started doing more photography again, like 2 years ago, because I got, I did photos with the photographer. I won't name names, but I just like hated it. And it was like, it was the last straw. It was like, I worked with like two photographers, shot the same look, two or three actually. It was my Among Us look.
I don't think I've seen this one.
But
Send me a picture and I'll put it in the
okay.
video version.
Well, I'll show you I'll send you like the final.
Okay.
Like my friend Kane did the photos and it would turn out good. But like I just was tired of like going and paying for photographers and then like getting bad stuff and then like asking them to fix it and then like not really seeing my vision. So then I decided that I'm going to be a photographer and I'm going to control the narrative.
And
And
you know what we call that? We call that the gay audacity. The
is
gay
it really?
audacity, I think it is because I am the same way where if I see something or if I don't like how something turns out and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. I could do that no matter what it is. You know,
Yes.
like the other day I
Yeah.
saw that recipe for Vietnamese egg coffee. Have I ever made that before in my life? No. I said, I could do that. I'm gay. I got this. It's things like that. Like John has made several shelves. I'm like trying to look for one in here. We haven't put it up yet. He's made all these shelves, all this shit for the apartment. Has he ever done any of it before? No. But he said, I'm gay. I could do that. And I think that's what it comes down to is the gay
Yeah.
audacity. And it doesn't have to be just the gay audacity. It could be the bisexual audacity, the lesbian audacity, you know, whatever have you, but something in there.
Being gay and Mexican, my ancestors of all kinds,
They were guiding you,
like they
hands on
had
your
so much
back.
honesty.
They said, get the work
Cesar
done. You got
Chavez,
this. And that's when
he
you
ate.
picked up that
Cesar
photo.
Chavez ate by not eating.
Boom. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to get into the advice portion next.
Are you tired of the same old true crime podcasts? Does it seem like horror podcasts are endless? Not sure which one to choose? Well, I've got you covered.
All right, can we stop? Hi, my name's Ralph, and I'll be your guide through what I like to call a variety show straight from hell. Welcome to the Scream Society. From true crime, crazy extremists, conspiracy theories, to the wildest buzzworthy topics, maybe some spine-tingling horror stories and supernatural phenomena to darken your day. I dissect it all and tell it like it is. The Scream Society. Dare to be a part of the show? Share your personal horror stories and paranormal experiences at beacons.ai/The Scream Society. Join the society and follow on Instagram and TikTok at Scream Society Podcast. The Scream Society. Available on all podcast platforms.
We're back. What a lovely break that was. And now it's time to get into your advice. It's time to get into some questions, some problems, some issues, and we'll see how the gay audacity lends itself to us today. The first one is from 2 + 1 = 3. It's a sex and love question, and they write, so we're a couple that has recently started dating a third. He lives in the UK and we live in the US. So far, we've been making the long-term relationship thing work, and we're visiting him in a few weeks. Any advice to keep things connected when we can't be around in person? Do you have any experience with some LTRs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a yes, and they were all not successful. And so I had a boyfriend who lived in China for like a year, and it was just so hard because like this was the year that I was in my first musical. I did like a really big drag show that it was just like there's so many milestone moments that I wish that they could be a part of. And it was so hard because I couldn't blame him for not being there. But also, I don't know, I feel like I was a little bit resentment towards it. So that's why that I wish I had taken I don't know. I don't know what I could have done in that situation. But I think um since COVID and like the pandemic and everyone's staying inside, I feel like there's a lot more activities and opportunities to do things virtually than there has like pre-pandemic, which is when like we had dated.
Definitely.
So like I really liked during the pandemic. I also dated during the pandemic and we loved watching movies online together. Um we like there's a lot of like online games like like
Among Us.
Among Us, yeah.
I
Among
just
Us is
got back
so
into it.
cute.
The other day
Oh,
I played it and I had like a lot of fun. We were in Discord and a bunch of my friends and I just like hopped out and played a random game or two. It was really fun.
that's sick. Are all the kids gone? Or did you have like a private?
The first two that we did were private, and then after that we said we need a couple more people in here because it was like getting a little too easy to suss out who it was. So we opened it up, and yeah, we didn't have like, as far as we can tell, there were no like literal children. Like everyone who was typing was like pretty coherent.
Mm, they're all the little kids are on Roblox now.
I think so. Well, and the adults are on Roblox too. Everyone's playing
Yeah.
that Dress to Impress game.
I love watching those videos.
They're really
I've
fun.
never played Roblox, never whatever, but I just love watching it.
I remember my brother was really into Roblox when we were kids, and he used to like. I don't, he used to be in like all these like role play Roblox things, like where they would like play hotel or like play house and stuff like that. Like that was like kind of his gig. That's like all I have. My frame of reference for Roblox is literally people RPing as like the hotel receptionist, like or like the
Yeah.
cleaning person. But yeah, wait.
Do you have any advice for this person?
Oh, of course, I got tons. I do agree. I think now there's a ton of stuff that you could do virtually to stay connected, whether it's watching a movie, playing a game. The amount of time that I see people on FaceTime, falling asleep on FaceTime together is a very important part. And whether that's all three of you together or if it's each of you having one-on-one time and then you have times where you can all do stuff together, I think it's important to carve out those things and to, even if you're not necessarily having like full conversations, kind of the importance of like parallel play where like you're on FaceTime or you're on the phone or something. Maybe you're not really talking all that much, but your presence is there and you're kind of like feeling each other's energy. For those of you not watching, the Jessica Rabbit painting behind Julez, a ghost moved it ever so slightly off, and now it's back in place.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the ghost is angry. But yeah, I do think it is important to carve out time to keep yourself connected. And while it might not be physical connection, I think it's important to have that emotional aspect. And also, if you're struggling with kind of like the sexual part of the relationship, carve out time to find out what types of like virtual sex work for you. You know what I mean? Phone sex can feel really awkward at times. And I think if you both kind of embrace that awkwardness and just realize, like, just take the piss out of it, then the three of you even could have some fun together. Or even if it's the two of you getting it on and the third is watching, or, or maybe you have like toys and the third is directing what to do with them, or you can get one of those fancy Bluetooth ones, and then they can really control it. There's lots of options for you to do things, especially now. So, heed technology, use it to your benefit, and you can make it work for you.
Yeah, that's actually really cute.
I think it's important.
yeah, I think just don't leave the other person out in general. Like try to include them in as much as possible, and I think that's how that will work.
Yeah, definitely. Like you gotta, especially since two of you are in the US and the third is like in another country, you really have to like make that effort to be like, all right, let's get them in on this. That way they don't feel left out. And when you are together, really you gotta make that time count and just absorb as much of each other as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like the UK and the US is not as drastic as like the US and China, right? Like time zone wise, because that they're across the pond.
Yeah.
That's only like 6 hours, so it's a little
You work
probably
like
a
12.
little easy. Yeah, 12 over like that's like day and night, quite literally. So at
Yeah.
least this is like a little easier to what's the word? I don't know, schedule. Yeah, easier to schedule. But yeah, I think it's important. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have anything else. I covered sex, connection. Oh, get them like a little ring light and they could watch you like people watch their dogs when they're not home. And they could look
Oh
the
God.
little not ring light, the little ring camera, and it's like sits in the kitchen in the kitchen or in the living room, and then they can speak through the microphone. Then they can really feel like they're around.
Uh, uh-huh.
Yep.
Did-
Yeah.
so this you can cut this out. I'm gonna just say it, but like I have a big fear of baby monitors. And so
Okay.
I'm afraid that like it's gonna pick up ghosts or like spirits or like even like a human like intruder or something. Like it's gonna pick up something.
So
And
you're afraid
so
of the supernatural aspect of a recording device?
yes. Like,
Okay.
oh, you're like you see like a being like watching over a crib. That's why I hate like I don't it's an irrational fear, but
That's fair. I don't like mushrooms. They scare me. I think something about the frills under the mushroom, they scare me. I don't like that.
interesting.
The gills of the mushroom terrify me. Not so much anymore.
That-
I've kind of gotten over it, but I used to. I used to like duck and run the other way when I saw them in the supermarket.
oh
Um,
my God.
do you think there are ghosts around you? Like, have you lived in like a haunted apartment or anything, or is it just like the thought that there could be ghosts?
Um, I do believe in ghosts. I'm not in spirits. Oh my gosh.
What?
I have to tell you about this one too. So I am a co-host at the Witcherama.
Mhm.
It is a monthly witches market and it's very queer friendly, like a lot of um like immigrant owned businesses, women owned businesses, and it's a very spiritual place. Like one of the very first times one of the very first times I was booked there, I was walking around and I had brought the person I was dating to the event, whatever. And we separated while like I was getting ready and walking around saying hi to people. And then my drag daughter, the Dom, um, she comes up to me. I host with her, but she comes up to me and is like, one of the mediums, one of the psychics told me to tell you this, that the person that you're with, or to be careful with the person you're with, that the spirits like talk to like had such a visceral reaction to the person I was seeing that she had to like tell someone to tell me that like this person is taking advantage of you. This person is not treating you like how you should be. And I don't know. I didn't know this medium. This person or this psychic did not like know me, but like
Did you
yeah,
find them afterwards and like talk to them, the psychic?
I I know I don't know who they are,
Okay.
but they wanted to, the spirit of the Witcherama like they wanted to protect me, and that's I can't like disrespect I guess that by like saying I don't believe in this, whatever, because like it was kind of true too. Like this person like was just like kind of taking advantage of me, like of the Jules person. Like
Mm-hmm.
so like it's like a fun like little story, but like it's kind of
The
serious
spirits are out
too.
there. They're out there. They're watching.
And I'm
Have
glad that like they like me or some.
yeah. Like I said, the ancestors. They're watching you. Have you ever
Yeah.
had any other medium type experiences? I love people who like the idea that someone has like spirit working through them and like the
They're
how do I
so
put
into.
this?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like they're so intuitive with it, and it's not like when you go to a psychic and you're paying them like $20 or $30 or whatever it is to like get your tarot read. Like someone who is just moving through this world as a medium and they get a message that is like so strong that they have to share it with somebody. To me, that just
Yeah.
feels all the more real versus like I'm giving you money, so of course you're gonna kind of tell me what I want to hear, you
Yeah.
know? So like I'm way more open to believing those types of mediums.
Yeah.
So maybe I have to go down to the
Well,
Witcherama to see
yeah.
if they have a
Shout out to the
message for me.
Witcherama. It's in Blue Island at the Blue Island Beer Company. Um, it's like there's always great tacos, great jewelry. This is a necklace I got there. A lot of my jewelry I get from there. Oh my gosh, I'm like kind of emotional now.
Oh my god. Wait,
Relationships are hard, and
no, they are.
so you have to just know who you are and just communicate.
Hmm. So
I
two
think
plus one
that's
equals three. I think the message here is when the three of you are together, you got to go down to the Witcherama, walk past the medium a couple times, and see if they're picking up any vibes.
yeah.
That's how you
Yeah.
know. That's the
This
only
is
way
just
you'll know.
this entire podcast is just me talking about the shows that I do and what time they are.
Listen, that's part of it. Part of it is yes, promote, 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 promote. This is that time. But yeah, I definitely got to go to the Witcherama and get me some witchy jewelry, and maybe a medium will have a message for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm open to receiving. The next question we have is from Anita Horchata. Hi, Diva.
I
And she writes, if you were an Elite Four member in Sinnoh, what would your Pokemon team be?
um first of all, I hate Pokemon.
Yeah, down with Pokemon. I'm a Digimon
uh,
fan first and foremost.
can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, for sure. I don't know how this will work, but I'll figure that out in post.
Oh, I guess
But
I can send you my list too.
okay,
I have a little. I made it. Um, but if you want to go first,
no, you go first by all means.
all right. Open up Sinnoh, right? I am absolutely 100% going to be an ice type trainer. I get it. It's weak. It's not the fastest. It's not the strongest. It's super fragile. But the aesthetic, the beauty, the class that they all have is gorgeous. Like it has to be the one I have to choose. And so obviously Glaceon is going to be my number one. There's going to be a Walrein on that team. I love Mamoswine, love her. I'm gonna hopefully. I don't know if this counts. I'm not. If it's the Sinnoh region, but not like Gen 4 or whatever.
I
I'm
think
gonna
we could
pick a
say like Sinnoh currently. Like let's talk about uh like we know the other regions are out there, and if you have to import a Pokemon from Gen 9, you can import a Pokemon from Gen.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
I'm all
I think that's
yeah. I'm pro immigration, so I'm gonna choose Alola Ninetales, Obama Snow. I like how he goes, Obama. And then lastly, it's going to be Frostlass.
Okay, that's a pretty good team. So you got some coverage on there. You got a grass ice. You've got a ground ice.
Have to.
You've got ghost ice.
The only
this is good.
like pure ice is Glaceon, and I just can't, in good faith, ignore her.
Yeah, I mean, a team full of just pure ice types, I think, is that's dangerous territory.
Yeah.
So you need that coverage. I do appreciate like the ice types that we do have, and for those of you that aren't into Pokemon, you're probably just like, "Girl, what?" I'm gonna tell you right now. Skip ahead for the next 5 minutes. I'll put a chapter marker. You can skip ahead to the next one. But yeah, I pure ice types are pretty fragile. But once you get the coverages, there's like, and even if we talk about mega stones, like if you had a mega Abomasnow, that's a whole other situation. Walrein with thick fat. There are things here to like minimize the shortcomings of the ice type, which I don't like the cold, but I do like an ice type here and there.
The fashion of, if you could put the ice type gym leaders and trainers, like they're always like with fur, like delicately white. Yeah.
And then there's Grusha with the snowboarding.
Yeah. Oh, and the girl from the rap, but wait, who's the newest ice
that
person?
was Grusha, the snowboarder. I think that's
Okay.
I think that's the most recent one that we've had, unless there was one in the DLC that I missed.
Yeah, the ice type, like I would wear like a long fur coat.
Oh, okay. So we're doing what we're wearing too. Okay, good. This is great.
I guess so.
Okay, perfect. I would definitely be a poison type gym leader. And so I've already done, back when the whole gym leader trend was going around on TikTok, I made a whole thing. And I would normally defer to that, but because we're in Sinnoh, I'm going to try to use more Sinnoh Pokemon. That being said, I will also be importing a Pokemon or two. So it's going to be Toxicroak, Gliscor, which I know is not a poison type, but it has a whole poison motif and it has poison heal. So like Gliscor with a toxic orb would definitely fit the team composition. Drapion, I love a big scorpion. I don't like Skuntank. I don't.
One of the worst noises
is the fart
ever.
noise. The fart noise. That being said, I recognize her strength. I recognize her strength. So she's gonna be she's on the team. You're drafted.
With Aftermath.
I know. I am importing a Galarian Slowbro because I have to. I just need that on my team. And for a 6 Pokemon, I was tossing around a couple options, and I kind of like when like I like when they have a full team, but I also kind of like when they only have like 5 Pokemon, Like if I'm not the champion, right? So I don't need like the full competitive team. I'm just here to like test your mettle. So I'll keep my 5,
Okay,
so yeah, Toxicroak, Drapion, Skuntank, Galarian Slowbro, and Gliscor. I think that's what I said, yeah.
My only first of all, I love that team. I just want to shout out Arbok. I love the design. It needs another evolution. It needs something.
It does need something. I would take truly anything. I'm like now looking at other poison types because I was really only thinking about Gen 4, but I forget that there's like a bunch of other Pokemon that are in Sinnoh. Like Nidoking would be on that short list if I could. Roserade for a little coverage. Muck. I'm not the biggest Muck fan, but I do like a Alolan Muck.
Really?
Poison Dark. Like I would maybe swap Skuntank with a Alolan Muck if I could import another Pokemon.
I don't like her color story, and
I love it. I like that it ripples. It ripples. Yeah. We've got gold, yellows and pinks and stuff. I think it's pretty. And Scolipede. Scolipede is my favorite. Not my favorite poison type because Croagunk, obviously, but I really do like the Venipede Scolipede line.
Why not your 6 Pokemon be a Croagunk?
I think that's really what it is. It would be 6 Croagunks, each with a different build. So like one of them would be a stall, one of them would be like the attacker, one of them would be, the support, little helping hand type situation. But But yeah, that would be my Gen 4 Sinnoh team. I tried not to include too many new ones, so the only new one that I'm gonna take is that Galarian Slowbro.
I love it.
Oh, outfit. What am I wearing? Okay, so I like in the Gen 4 Elite Four, their rooms were like coded to like the kind of stuff that they had. Like it wasn't just like in the newest one, there was just like the same empty room. They had a little more personality in the design. So I'm sitting there. There's like a little pedestal. I'm taking some Koga inspiration. I'm not in full ninja garb, but I'm definitely dressed in like some flowy purple fabric. And there's just ooze behind the wall, just oozing down. And then I sit there and I wait. I didn't want to take a Crobat because that's too Koga.
You know in SpongeBob, that one episode where like the walls will ooze green slime.
Yeah, the walls are oozing purple slime here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's move on to this next one. All right. So this is where that chapter marker's coming in. So if you're just tuning back in because you said I hate Pokemon, first of all, I'm surprised that you're here. But I accept you. I accept your team, Mama. If you are not a Pokemon liker, everyone has a character flaw. I'll say that. But you are valued.
Well, you also are listening to people who are passionate about something. So if you want good vibes, you'll listen. Yeah.
Even if you like hit that like ×2 button, they're like, okay, they're done with Pokemon. Let's go back to 1.5. This next one is from Graphic Designer. It's a general advice question. And they write, I'm stuck at this job that pays ass with no PTO or insurance, and my boss is an abusive, moody piece of shit. Her own brother was screaming at her the other week, calling her a bitch and a cunt. She gets into screaming arguments with her employees way more often than anyone should and literally yelled at me for my computer crashing, even though it's out of my control. I want a new job so badly, but this job market has been so bad. Your girl needs some advice or a pep talk or something. How do I deal with a psychotic boss? You hate bosses.
I hate bosses. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a good boss. And not because, I mean, I'm probably the reason also.
Do you have a distaste of those in positions of power, or is it like a distaste of those with authority? Because I definitely do.
You do.
I do. I'm like, ugh, whatever. Like, I don't even like passing by cops. Anyone who's like in a quote unquote position of authority, I'm like, don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I automatically am going to talk to you snarky. Even if I don't mean to, I'm going to be short. I can't help it.
I don't want to give the advice that's like quit, because that's what I did. I used to work in a nonprofit job. I had such a hard time dealing with the government. Like it's a nonprofit job, and I was working personally with like a government grant. Mm-hmm. And I was there for 3 years. I hated telling people, no, you cannot have money that you need because of like one little parameter your business doesn't have. And this was like during the pandemic too. So like people really needed the money, and like my boss there was like nice, like not, but in terms of like the government being my boss, like it was so frustrating.
So it's not that like your boss was the bossilla. It was just the government was the atrocious part.
I don't want to talk too much about my boss because I still work with her, because she, but like, I've learned so much from her, and I still get booked for that nonprofit to do their photos.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Even they all agree, like you have to have a kind of patience to work with government grants and bureaucracy.
Yeah.
With that being said, you need to start applying to other jobs. You got to do something.
Yeah. I am one of those people where like so there are some people when they're shopping around for new jobs, it has to be in that same line of work, or it has to be kind of like in the same vein of what they're doing. And I get that, right? But in a case like this, where it's this bad to the point where like the work environment is so toxic, girl, even if you have to work at a cafe, I'm like, get out and do something else. You know what I mean?
Abusive. It has no PTO, no insurance. You have no stake.
Yeah. And not that like working at a cafe is going to get you PTO or insurance, but you may not have a boss like this, you know?
Yeah.
Find something, work at a plant store. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth staying here. And it might not even be worth doing 2 weeks notice, because it's not like you want to get back to this company if it's going to be the same shit as before. The only reason people want 2 weeks notice is if you want to, like, you know, be in good standing with the company so that you can get a job there again if you so wished. I don't think that's the case here. I am confused at her own brother screaming at her. Like, does the brother also work at this job?
Yeah, don't. If it is true,
did the brother come in and was like, "Listen here, you
also,
bitch"?
How, like, dare you? I don't know. Like, but like, I come from a family, like, we don't swear.
We swear like sailors.
Like, talking to, I don't know, like, that don't. I don't know. Like, it's not professional at all to first do that at the workplace. The fact that you heard that scenario, red flag.
Wild. I
If
think
they do that at home, whatever, but
yeah, you know, if you were beefing at a wedding, you should have been beefing at a wedding. Why bring it to somebody else's job? Because if you can't go to Bella Noche's, where could you go? This person works at Bella Noche's. I think if in situations like this where you are dealing with a psychotic boss, I'm not saying this is going to go well, but it might help you get your lick back before you quit. And I do think that gentle parenting people in positions of power is important. And once you stop reacting to how they're acting and kind of take the steam out of their, you know, I almost said out of their gullet, but that's not the right word. Take the steam out of their engine. And so if they're like trying to yell at you for something, you know, we're going to stand our ground. We're going to ask them to calm down. We're going to talk about this issue, right? So my computer crashed. She's yelling at you because your computer crashed. But listen, did I crash my computer? No, the computer crashed because blank. The RAM isn't good enough. B, you have me running 8 programs at a time. But I think the important part is that I can come back and I can fix this. And what we should do is we're going to take a moment. We're going to breathe. We're going to walk around the office. You're going to go over to the kitchen. There's an orange there. I want you to peel that orange. And maybe let's take a quick break. Maybe we don't have to yell at people. I'm a big proponent of somebody in a position of power is yelling at you. You go, you're not my mother. Only my parents can yell at me like that. So let's breathe. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. I do it at the bar all the time. Whenever a customer gets mad at me for something, go, let's breathe. Or if people are arguing and I was like, I was here first, I go, let's take a moment. We're going to breathe. It's going to be okay. It's going to happen for you. I'm going to get there. Let's take a moment. Let's breathe. If I turn around and you're not smiling, I'll move on to the next person. I think it is perfectly fine to stand your ground. You're on the way out of this job anyway. Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Find a way to make her realize, oh my God, I'm being insane.
Yeah.
Or start calling her weird. Really just start calling her weird.
Why is that working?
It works well. It works well. She starts yelling at someone, you're being weird. You're being really weird right now.
Yeah.
Like, you start gaslighting her. Just start gaslighting your boss. You're being crazy right now. You should totally take a chill pill.
Your brother was right about you.
Yeah, your brother was right. I've been talking to him. Actually, I've been fucking your brother. That's
Yeah, I agree that you are a bitch. Your brother said that.
Yeah. You walk like a bitch. And I bet someone said that when you were 10. Like, but honestly, I think as annoying as she probably is, and I think it's important to, I don't know, have a little bit of empathy, because evidently this is somebody who's like going through a lot, and like, sure, they're not responding the best way because they're kind of acting insane, but you know, they probably have shit going on at home. They probably have lots of other stuff on their plate. Maybe have a little bit of empathy. And that's where I think like kind of like the gentle parenting kind of moment, you know, like because if she raises her voice, she wants to get a rise. She probably feeds off that, right? I think it's really important to not stoop to her level. And I know how good it feels to stoop below people's level. I get it. You know, when they go low, we go high.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people say when they go low, we go to the pits of hell. Sometimes that is the case. I love to do that. I don't think this is one of those cases. I think do not give her what she wants. Do not come. Do not come. Like, come on.
I reference that so much.
Do not come.
It's so bad.
Yeah. As far as the pep talk, babes, let's get you applying some places. Maybe if we just quit this place, like I said, let's get a job somewhere else. Let's just help out the library or something, you know, a coffee shop, a garden center.
Keep talking about this with your friend. Like, you cannot hide the fact that you're looking for a job. Talk to your friends, post about it, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get that support. And also, like, talk to your coworkers too. You're not the only one experiencing this. And I think even if all the coworkers got together and were like, listen, Cheryl, working here, not an enjoyable experience. Let's talk about it. Maybe she'll like have a come to Jesus moment. I'm not saying it's going to work 100% because a lot of times when people are told that they're being wrong, or, you know, maybe we use I feel statements. I feel like when I come to work, this is a depressing place because you're always yelling at people. I always feel like I'm being attacked, blah, 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 blah. She might double down on it. Evidently, she needs some therapy, I think. But if you're going to stay here while looking for other jobs, we got to stand our ground. I empower you to stay your ground. I'm sending that towards you. Remember, they're not your mother. They can't yell at you like that. Literally just say that. It'll feel so good. We go breathe. She starts yelling, we go, this, which is physically push the energy down a bit. Push it in and out. The finger, my favorite thing. She starts yelling.
Yeah, not the middle finger.
Not the middle finger, just the pointer finger. It's my perfect tool. She starts trying to yell at you. Huh, 1 second. We're gonna turn this down. See that? We're turning that down. We're not yelling today. It's Monday, Karen. Let's breathe, okay? Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee. No, let's breathe. The computer is not my fault. The fault is the company giving me a computer from 2006. Yes, it's going to crash. Okay, let's talk about that. We're going to move on to our next question. This is going to be our last question. Our last question is from Attempting Bravery. It's a general advice question. Also, before we get into it, updates. If you have updates on things, you know, if you, graphic designer, have an update about your boss, or you got a new job, or you do something else. Also, if you are a graphic designer, you can probably find work freelancing on the side. So you don't have to quit doing what you're doing necessarily. Like, if you were to just get a job, like I keep saying a coffee shop, it's because I just went to one. Like, if you get a job somewhere else, you can always keep doing your graphic design stuff on the side, keep your portfolio up, you know, freelance, make connections that way, just to help supplement yourself while you're working and hopefully getting out of this terrible, terrible situation. I think that's super, super important to be your own boss. Like Jules said, be your own boss. Boom.
Yeah. I have unlimited PTO.
Yeah. The perks of being your own
also
boss.
Zero PTO.
Yes. The downside of also being your own boss. Always working. And yet you could also be like, take a little break.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have updates, send us updates. Send them in the DMs, or you can send them over at poisontouch.com and just use the same name that you used the first time. I love getting updates from people. I love hearing about how things have gone. This goes for everybody. But yes, our last question is from Attempting Bravery. And they write, this question is for both Krogunk and Julez Osco, since both have dance/performance experience. I have never considered myself a strong dancer. I know for sure I can do a 2-step, and I can, with patience, learn choreo for 4 and 8 counts. But when I'm not trying to do pre-made choreo, I feel like I'm lost. I know I should be confident and really feel myself in the music, but I'm not sure how to get there. I've popped in and started taking dance lessons here and there, but they teach mostly choreo and movements. Where I feel I'm stuck is just, quote, feeling myself without being insecure that I look dumb. Do y'all have any tips getting over that, or advice on how to learn to dance sexy without looking shy or embarrassed? First off, I'm going to say, I think saying that I have dance experience is very generous. This is very generous
Okay,
of
bar
you.
back on break.
That is generous. I don't know if dance experience is. I'll take performance experience. Dance, we're being a little generous there. Do you want to go first? Do you have anything to say to this person?
Yeah. I firstly want to say you're doing everything right. You are going to dance classes. You're giving yourself like um like a structure. You're knowing like where you can grow. This is hard because it's like you just have to practice. And like I've taught like dancing to people who can't dance or don't really know how to dance, and it all like I've had to like describe what a beat is, and so it doesn't seem like you're there, but the music is the beat in the music is the most important part. It doesn't matter what you do to that beat, but as long as you're on that beat, that's what looks good. I'm not the most like flexible or trained dancer or whatever, but if you do things on beat, then you automatically look more confident. So was yeah, so like the way I first started teaching is like, all right, you're walking to the beat. Like practice every single walk to like as any of your favorite songs. Take it slow, take it fast, but like that's like the best advice I can give. It's just like learning how to walk to the beat.
Okay, the foundational steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
And then yeah. It's hard to like in a audio medium to show people how to dance. But yeah, I'm gonna just say practice. Oh, feeling confident in yourself is also just like feeling proud of yourself. Like if that means like you're working out and you like the games, or if you made your outfit and you are proud of that, that is going to show in your performance. I make a lot of my own outfits, and like I'm excited to like be like, oh, look at this, or like stoning my outfits. I do that to just be sparkly and like
get yourself to feel the
feel good.
fantasy, whatever it takes.
Yeah, if you look good, you're gonna feel good, and that's gonna show in your movement and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess lastly, stretch.
That's important.
Yeah, it'll just look better. But yeah, I can like give so much advice on that, but
for me, the outfit is like the biggest thing. I think the outfit is like either the outfit or just how you feel about the performance. For me, I love making my own mixes. So anytime I've ever performed anything, I like will make my own mix and practice that, and I'll feel very confident. Once I'm confident in the mix, I'm confident adding little ad libs to it or changing the performance up a bit, because I think it's important to practice your performances, but I also think it's important to be able to go with the flow. And if something feels right during a performance that you didn't rehearse, do it,
Mm-hmm.
But I think part of that is, for me, starts with the outfit. Like I'll practice, but when that outfit once like the fit is on and I'm feeling, how I'm going to look in front of the crowd and stuff, that's when it's like, okay, now I've got the fantasy. And that alone like boosts the confidence. Because if I'm just performing and like, or if I'm practicing and I'm just in like, a pair of gym shorts, I'm not going to feel it as much. But, there's the hype of the crowd. There's how I look and how excited I am to like present whatever I've made. That kind of helps me focus less on like, oh no, I have to dance or I have to like do this, and just be more of like the performer part of it. But yeah, I think you said it best. You're on the right track. You're taking dance classes. You're learning how to do that, and I think part of building confidence is continuing to do that. And building your own sense of rhythm.
Yeah. And like just because they teach like teach choreo doesn't mean that like it's not like you can still take that and turn it into your own thing. Like if they do like a I don't know, like a body roll, like steal that and implement it in your thing. Like they're giving you patterns that you can like go into
Yeah,
later. So if you are learning this choreo and you're like, I hate this song and I'm never gonna perform this song, whatever, then you can just take what you like about it and then apply it to other things.
exactly. Like if they're doing like a flourish at the end of the 8 count and you like that flourish, let's take that. Or you like how they move through a certain type of beat, do that and apply that to songs with similar beats. I think another thing is learning how to slow it down a bit. I see this a lot at the shoe. Sometimes people are trying to hit every single beat and almost
Yeah.
dancing at like double, triple time, you know? And sometimes, especially when you're trying to be like exude that kind of like sexy aura, it can help to like slow it down a bit and take your time with it. You got to let them eat it up.
Yeah.
You gotta let them take it in, you know? So take a little bit of a breather during it, you know, and really take your time. Sometimes slower can be more sensual and not
The
trying to hit
T.
literally, you know, really
Yeah.
hitting every
I'm
single
not,
beat like that.
I'm not sure if you're like a burlesque dancer or like or trying to get into any of those stuff, but like look into burlesque and sometimes you just need something to do on stage to like make yourself feel comfortable and like that maybe that's the tease like oh I'm like I don't really do this in drag but like I do a lot of tearaway stuff so I like slowly and then like quick just like have or having a prop or having like a gimmick will
I love a
like
prop.
help you.
I'm a prop whore. I need a gimmick and everything. I need a gimmick down. Yeah, I think that's also important. So if you're not the best dancer, add a prop, add a gimmick. It's what I do. Add a little something to do, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's important. And lastly, I had one other thing to say. Advice. I don't know. I think at some point it'll click for you where you'll stop caring about looking dumb. Because the point is, we're all out here in silly little outfits dancing for tip money. And at some point, you just have to be like, yeah, who cares if I look dumb? I'm having fun. People are throwing money at me. I'll take it. Yeah. Like at some point, you just have to realize, just take the piss out of it, you know? It's all silly. Let it be silly. Do a comedy number. If you've never done a comedy number, do one. Do one and just I think the basis of comedy can help you build confidence in a lot of other areas of performance. And I think everyone should do a comedy number here and there. I think it's important.
Yeah, everyone loves to laugh.
Exactly. Everybody loves to laugh. Love, love,
Ha
love, love.
ha.
But yeah, let us know. Keep us updated. And if you want to invite us to one of your performances, you know, or send us videos, I would love to see. So yeah, shoot us that.
Same.
And with that, that'll bring us to the end of the advice. And we're going to take a quick break and we'll get on to the advice to the stars, where we give advice to public figures, celebrities, and those in pop culture that didn't ask for advice, but damn well need it. They need it bad. I'm telling you right now, they need it. I like getting into the nitty gritty, and I love frying the small fish. I think that's important. Frying the small fish. We're back from our break, by the way. I think this is important because I think sometimes people are hesitant to submit questions because they feel like their problem isn't big enough or they don't have any relevant drama. And to that, I say, Fui. I say, Patui. I say, bleh. Submit the small things. I like to fry the small fish.
Yeah.
If you got a sandwich made,
anyway.
It's anonymous. Yeah. Submit small things. Your advice doesn't have to, your questions don't have to be like life altering, shattering things like breaking up with your partner or something. It could be a friend and I had a disagreement. I went to the sandwich shop and I didn't like how they made my sandwich. What should I do? You know, send us the small things. I like to fry all types of fish, big and small. I do like when people submit big things because we could really get into the nitty gritty of it. But by that same token, send little things. It's important. And I meant to make a TikTok about this. And I'll probably do this when the episode comes out. But yeah, send us the small shit. We love it. How you holding up?
I'm great.
Good.
I can keep going.
Good. Oh, we're gonna keep going.
I'm gonna go to Target later, and I'm just gonna start giving people advice.
Good, as you should.
On the street, yeah.
As you should. Just walking down the street. And maybe that's what mediums really are. And said, like, just say the spirit moved through you and told you to tell them this.
No, I'm not that into.
I don't know. You never know.
Like,
maybe I think it's all about being open to receiving the message. If you're really open to it, I think they will start directing you.
You're right. You know what?
I think you have the potential.
Oh, if there's anything I have, it's potential.
Jules medium and the ghosts start talking.
No PTO, but potential.
You know, you can't spell potential without PTO. There's no O. Wait, there is. Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome to Advice to the Stars. This is our third segment where we close out. We talk about some celebrity stuff. We give advice to pop culture, figures in pop culture, people in politics, people that didn't ask for it, but damn well need the advice. We got a couple things on the docket today. First off, I want to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. And this is less pop culture and more so for the people in the theater. I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine on opening day. I don't normally see things on opening day because I know how people act in the theater on opening day, and I don't like to subject myself to that. I like to wait until Tuesday, and I've said this many a time. I like to wait until Tuesday when I can go and I get a $6 movie ticket, and I can go see the movie while everyone else is at work, and I can enjoy it. But no, I know how comic book people and comic book movie fans are. And I knew I had to see this opening day or I was going to see spoilers that same day. Because I know how you are. I know how you work, comic book fans. Don't play with me. So I knew I had to see this opening day. Why did I listen to y'all? Because I went. I sat down. I sat in my seat. It was a packed theater. The people to the left of me were two gay men who were talking during the previews. I don't care about that. They were fine. Because once the movie started, they stopped talking. That's the best part, right? You know? Sure, giggle through the previews, laugh through them, you know, talk to your friends, whatever. The previews, I couldn't care less. The person on the other side of me was quite the opposite. Silent during the previews, but once the movie started, then they were like, oh, let me start talking now. Every time there was a cameo on screen, and his voice is stuck in my head, so I'm gonna okay. Exterior, TVA. Deadpool walks on screen and is greeted by blank, blank, and blank. There's a cameo of Blank Borgensen, a minor MCU character who appeared at the Loki series. The guy next to me, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, hey. In my head, I'm like, okay, I know that character. The guy next to me, oh my God, that's Blank Borgensen. He's from Loki. Oh my God. Every time a cameo was on screen. Oh.
And there's so many cameos in this movie.
So many. And that's where the root of this problem is every cameo. Oh my God, that's Wolverine. Oh, that's Blank. I don't want to give any spoilers in case you haven't seen it. But yeah,
no,
that's Blank.
Talk about it.
Okay, well, for the viewer, I don't want to give too many spoilers, you know. So, that's Blank. That's Blank. Every time a cameo was on screen, it was exhausting. And so when I left the theater, I was like, it was okay. And I think my experience was mired by the fact that this man next to me wouldn't shut up anytime there was a cameo on screen. I've sat with the movie for a couple days. I think I enjoyed the film despite the story. Like, if you shed away all the fight scenes and the jokes, which I liked the fight scenes. I liked how bloody it was. I think it should be bloody. It's a Deadpool and Wolverine film. It should have, you know, lots of fights, lots of blood. It should be raunchy. Let's take away all the fight scenes, all the jokes. Let's look at just the story. It's kind of bare bones. There's not a whole lot of story there.
No.
What the hell is an anchor being? This is the first time I remember hearing about this.
Oh, the Nexus being versus the anchor being. I was like, and then, okay. There's a shot of Wanda in the dark, whatever, the statue of Wanda. Wanda is like one of my favorite characters. How dare they?
Well,
They
that's
just
Wendy. You know,
they huh? Huh?
MCU Wanda is Wendy because she's just so Caucasian versus in the
Oh,
comics.
yeah.
That's a conversation for another day. The
Oh, did
erasure
you
of
like
Romani
what
characters.
I will? Okay, I'm not gonna shit on it too much because there's no point. But how did you feel about Gambit being in there? Are you because
So
you like Gambit, right?
I'm going to I'm gonna censor the name just for people who haven't seen. This will be coming out next week, so we'll already be like 3 weeks out of the movie. So for those of you that know who we're talking about, you'll know who we're talking about. I do like this character. I do not
You've
like
dressed
the
up as them,
actor.
right?
I have not. I've dressed up as Rogue.
Oh,
I like
oh.
the actor who played them is great in other comedic roles, and I think he took a lot of that comedy into this role. I think the accent was hilarious. Is it what I want from like a real representation of that character? No. Did I think it fit a Deadpool movie? Yes. I also don't think he should play him based solely on the fact that he has no neck. This man has no neck.
Well, does Gambit have a neck? Not really.
Yes. Gambit is like kind of like tall and lanky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's one of those like lean. He's one of those lean beans. I would say Gambit has like a longer neck.
yeah. It's just covered by the black.
It's covered by the cowl. Gambit isn't like a twink, but he is like kind of like a taller, leaner, like
What, like an Andrew Garfield type?
kind of like that. I would say a little beefier than Andrew Garfield. Like Gambit has muscles. Andrew Garfield's maybe like a little too on the twinkier side. But yeah, I think Channing has no neck. He's built like a thumb. And this is no shade. He's Magic Mike and all that, but just not a lot of neck there. It's just this. So that summarizes my feelings about that. How did you feel?
Deadpool. Oh yeah. I like the first Deadpool, and I feel like, and I love Wolverine. I love Hugh Jackman. Um, they gave I'm glad we got an ab shot. At
That
the
we
end.
did with all that hair
But
on it too.
one thing I do want to say is like, speaking of advice, I guess to the stars, or I guess to everyone. I've been getting a lot of TikToks that are like, bros, like you just watched Wolverine and Deadpool and you have to like be get up to like Hugh Jackman's level, like he's 50 something and he has like whatever. And I'm just like, it is unachievable.
The man is
You
probably on
cannot
such an
compare.
insane regimen.
Yeah,
Insane.
rich so he can pay whatever money he wants for whatever drugs or food or diets or whatever.
Trainers, all that stuff.
And like what's wild is like that's a CGI body double. That's not even, well, that's not Hugh Jackman. Like they like,
Clock it.
and even like one thing I also hate about Deadpool is that Ryan Reynolds is voiceovering the entire time that he's playing Deadpool. Is it acting? I don't know.
I think he, for like the moments we like in the suit, there is a decent amount of like physical acting involved. Do I think it always matches the voice acting that's over it? No. But I think there are a lot of cases where he does pretty well to like match the physicality of the character in the suit, whether it's him or a stunt double. Yeah, I for a character that like truly is in a mask a lot of the time, it doesn't bother me as much. Kind of like the old Spider-Man films before they felt the need to take off the mask anytime Peter has to say something, you know?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's also
That's my controversial opinions.
the conversation about Deadpool's sexuality being the butt of the joke, and a lot of queer people feeling like they were made the butt of the joke. I personally didn't feel that watching it. That's just me. I don't know. I just didn't I'm also not looking for a Deadpool movie to represent me in a whole lot of ways. You know what I mean? I just am kind of there for the action and the jokes. I'm not looking for it to be a commentary on gender and sexuality.
Yeah, I also like, I don't need him. Yeah, I don't, you said it perfectly. I don't need him to like do anything for me, represent me or whatever.
Yeah. I do think the gay jokes that he made were kind of fun though.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were fun.
The scene where like he's getting his new costume. Wild.
All the butt slaps.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop. And like when the TVA is coming for him and he says, you know, I'm not naturally a bottom, so we're gonna take this real nice and slow. Like I thought that was funny.
Yeah, there was pegging jokes. There's awesome.
Yeah, so I
want to see Hulkling represent me.
Well,
right?
Yeah, Hulkling and Wiccan. Those though, if they do those gay characters wrong, people are gonna feel a type of way because not only the Hulkling and Wiccan fans are a certain level of crazy. I feel. And it's a lot of Fujoshi in there. It's a lot of their fan base is a lot of queer people, I'll say that, but it also is a lot of straight women who are obsessed with gay men. Yeah, so they got there's a lot of Fujoing out over at the Hulkling and Wiccan camp. I'll say that. So I'm a little nervous for when we see them finally.
Can I say I wanted She-Hulk to be in this? I don't know. I just want, or I hope we get like a fourth wall off with them.
I would love that. For another character that breaks the fourth wall like Deadpool, I think seeing the two of them on screen would have been a fun interaction. And maybe we'll get that at some point in the future. I just think it would be really cool to see them both acknowledging the fact that they are, addressing a third person. Because She-Hulk doesn't necessarily know she's in a comic book like Deadpool does, but She-Hulk will actively address the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting, thing.
I think, she's one of the people I'm excited to get her own movie. She deserves it. Yeah. I want a Wanda movie, I don't want a Doctor Strange movie with Wanda in it. I just wanted her to win. I don't know.
I can feel it for her. I hope we get more. I'm excited. I mean, evidently I think we're heading toward a reboot.
Oh, I forgot I even had this. I'm so sorry. I should have.
Oh,
that's wild. It's on my desk.
Doom. For those of you not watching the video version, it is. What would you have got? The head. It's a stoned Wanda headpiece. They have the Scarlet Witch headpiece. Real pretty. Yeah, I can't remember what else I want to talk about Double Wolverine. So let's move on. Let's talk about RFK real quick. RFK Jr. If you're unfamiliar, Robert Franklin. I don't know what the F stands for. Robert Kennedy Jr. He is an anti-vaxxer. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's one of the independent candidates this year. He's kind of insane. And the reason I bring this up is because he's in the news right now for a decade-old mystery that happened in New York where a dead bear cub was found in the middle of Central Park. As you can imagine, Central Park doesn't have a lot of bears because where would they all fit? Central Park is a forest technically, right? It's a huge park. It is the lungs of New York City. That being said, don't think there's any bears in there. A dead bear cub was found in Central Park, and the whole thing was staged to make it look like a bicyclist hit the bear cub. Now, RFK Jr. comes out and says he was the one who picked up the bear cub, placed it in Central Park. He had originally planned to skin the bear and eat it. Do people eat bear meat like this? I don't know. But he's the one who put the bear cub in Central Park and set the whole scene to make it look like a bicyclist had hit it. He thought it'd be a really fun little prank. Why that is his idea of a fun little prank eludes me. And then he was shocked when it ended up being in newspapers and on television and was like a very big mystery that people were trying to figure out how this happened. And he's like laughing about it. So he told this story on Roseanne Barr's show, podcast. I don't know. Some kind of conservative shit. Point is, this is an insane story. And I don't know. The advice I have for him is maybe try to be normal. I think he's well past that point. This man is odd. He's an oddball. And somehow this is weirder than him being an anti-vaxxer. You know, like I've almost come to expect that from him. But this part, the eating a bear cub, but then choosing to throw it in Central Park, I think this is a little weird even for me.
I'm speechless.
Speechless.
That's wild. What do you, if you want, why don't you give some advice on like what is a good prank for him to pull?
I think a good prank, maybe, you know, I think his whole candidacy is a prank. There's no way this man actually wants to be in office. This is like that guy who wears the shoe on his head and like runs for president every 4 years. You know what I'm talking about? He's like another independent. I feel like this has to be a prank. His whole, you know, he's definitely a prank to his family. The Kennedys are definitely not, I don't see them favoring him. So I think he is currently pranking his family.
If I really wanted to prank someone, I would also run for president.
Yeah. Maybe he should just set his sights on like lower offices. Maybe let's start with like a town mayor. Ooh. Then you can run all types of pranks as town mayor, you know? Egg egg statues, you know.
Place a egg in Central Park and then make it look like a bicycle hit it.
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe instead of a bear cub, we just put an egg in Central Park and we just leave it there. Or I don't know, truly anything other than this. This is crazy. This is insane. And I'm not saying, listen, Kamala, she's got her own set of issues. I get that. And I'm not going to tell y'all who to vote for. If you're in a swing state, I think you should use your vote to make sure that it doesn't just get thrown away. So maybe don't vote for independent. If that's the case, definitely don't vote for RFK. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but do you want to vote for the man who put a bear cub dead in Central Park?
You're probably next.
Thinking it's a prank? Yeah. I think anything this man says is deeply, deeply unserious. Take a look at him. Also, I think he's like booked on a cruise. He's like...
Okay, booked and blessed.
Booked as like cruise entertainment. It's like him and Zachary Levy. Yeah, it's like a whole cruise of like conservative people and anti-vaxxers doing entertainment on a cruise. And listen, COVID was spreading rampant on those cruises. You go on that cruise, I'm telling you, you're coming back with something. Or you're not coming back at all.
They have a morgue in cruises. It's crazy.
There's always a morgue on the cruise, and there's probably someone in it.
And if there's not enough room, they put them in the ice cream or freezer.
Terrifying. I mean, you got to keep them cold. Got to keep them cold. So I can't even really fault them for putting corpses in the ice cream freezer. But maybe if we do that, maybe we just don't serve ice cream. I think it's okay to sacrifice the ice cream on the cruise. We can move to less frozen desserts and delicacies. I didn't have much else to say about RFK. That man pissed me off. I read this story the other day and I was like, I have to talk about this because this is just too crazy. And like not that many people are talking about it, I feel. Which is also like kind of fine. I'm fine with him not getting more media attention. But yeah, let's talk about the Olympics a bit. It's a mess. I love the Olympics. The Olympics are fun. The only time I ever feel patriotic is when the Olympics come around.
You're Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah.
They're doing good.
Basically, right? USA, since they're all the same, allegedly.
No, but Puerto Rico has their own team.
They do, but it's the one time I root for the USA. I like watching the boxing. There's been a lot of
Yeah,
controversy for the
actually.
boxing this year because of the turfs calling Algerian boxer Iman Khalif a man, all because her Italian opponent got hit once and started crying. This is another example of white women tears being weaponized. Hey, y'all, quick addendum. So, since this episode is coming out after the Olympics are pretty much already done, Iman Khalif won her gold medal. Congrats to her. And fully plans to take legal action against the insane turf people that spent all this time bullying her and really making what should have been like a celebration of her country and her craft and her sport, instead of, fully just making that experience horrible for her. Anyways, congrats to her. I'm gonna leave the rest of the segment because we talk about old news sometimes, but I did want to just give her flowers and congrats to her and congrats to everyone else who did a good job at the Olympics and wasn't being a complete asshole. All right, back to the show.
Someone said like, "Oh, you go to the Olympics for boxing and get surprised when you get punched hard."
Yes, and that's the thing that gets me. You are an Olympic boxer, and you're gonna cry this hard after getting hit once. And I'm not saying, if it hurt, it hurt. Be emotional, right? I don't think it's I think it's insane to then take it this far to the point of calling her a man just because she hit you. I don't care if it's the hardest punch you ever got in your life. You're an Olympic boxer. I feel like you should have a little more metal than this, right? We should have maybe a little more constitution. We are at the Olympic level for boxing. Learn how to take a hit. I don't even know the Italian boxer's name because I don't even feel like dignifying her with a name. And Iman Khalif, like her scores are like perfectly passable. She's got like nine wins, 5 losses. So it's not like she's this unbeatable person, and she's not even trans. So and the thing is, conservatives are crazy because they're claiming that because of whatever chromosome thing that she's a man. But if she were to identify as a man, they'd be the same people to be like, you're a woman. So which one is it?
This is like where it goes back to like transphobia hurts everyone, not just trans people. Like it hurt, like it's a like poison that like people who are not trans are like getting hurt because of transphobia. Like just because you're not like to another person's like, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's not even touching the subject that, okay, the Olympics are in Paris. The French are notoriously Islamophobic. And she's an Algerian boxer. So she's from like a predominantly Muslim country. So that's not even touching the other side of things where like part of this bullying is because of transphobia. Part of the bullying is from Islamophobia. The French are not boding well on either counts. So there's a level of nuance, I think, when it comes to this that a lot of people just aren't equipped to handle. And I wanted to give a shout out to their next opponent, Thai boxer. I forget their name, but the Thai boxer who was like, just the sportsmanship level. They were like, I don't care about all the bullying. We both have human bodies. We both have fists. We're going to fight. And I'm excited to compete. If the punch was really that hard, I welcome it. See, that's a boxer. Yeah. That's what I want to see from an Olympic boxer. We both have fists. Let's duke it out. This is what we should be doing. How this person got on the Italian Olympic team for boxing, girl, I'm going to send myself to Italy. If they're taking anybody, let me join the Olympic boxing team.
You're ready to get punched?
Yeah, I could probably take a punch better than her. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I could probably take a punch better than her. I'll be on the male boxing team. I'll do it. Viva Italia.
We're tiny shorts.
Yeah, I think that's mostly why. I like a little tiny boxing short. I think they're cute. Mm-hmm. Boxing outfits are fun.
Yeah, the little robe.
Yeah, it's always like a fun little tank top and like some fun little shorts. Maybe like some customized boxing gloves. It looks cute. A little colorful mouth guard. I think it's
Mhm.
fun. I also think a lot of people just are y'all not seeing butch lesbians out in public? And I don't know if
Yeah.
Amon Khalif is a lesbian, but not bitch, butch women exist. I almost said bitch women. Butch women exist.
Women
And
exist, yeah.
I think we should just, I don't know, like a lot of y'all probably have a butch auntie somewhere, or an auntie who's got
Like,
a friend who's butch. You know, that's her friend that she brings around.
while we're on the topic of like gender affirming, like I don't know, aesthetics to yourself. Like, not saying that like she's whatever just because it's like gender affirming for her, but like the conservatives are like all these men who are getting like facelifts and like spray
JD
cans and
Vance.
all this stuff. Yeah. Like they it's just so frustrating to be like, this is if you like this and this affirms like, oh, you're a man and you this is what a man looks like to you, why are you punishing other people for doing what they want to do?
It's
Like,
crazy.
what is this?
They were going
Like,
crazy over her being in like a tailored suit and a turtleneck. She looked good in this little, like the turtleneck was cute. She had a nice little suit jacket on, and they were like, "This is who the Olympics are trying to believe is a woman." Blah blah blah. Bitch, if you don't let her be her little butch self and her little suit and live her truth with her haircut, it was cute. It was a cute fit. I don't know. I just think a lot of people are just like I said, don't have uh, the wherewithal or equipped with the knowledge or even like the ability to see past their own worldview. Why can't we just accept people for who they are? Let everyone live their truth. It's the Olympics.
Right.
The Olympics are supposed to be a fun time for everybody to represent their nation and come together for, you know, the love of being the best of sport. It is competitive. It should be fun. But when it gets to this level of bullying, come on now. This is crazy. And also, the Catholics and the Christians were going bonkers over the opening ceremony, saying that it was a affront to their religion when it wasn't even a reference to the Last Supper.
Yeah. It's like when they realize Jesus wasn't white, what's gonna happen?
I'm not prepared for that day when we see biblically accurate Jesus.
Biblically accurate Jesus.
Yeah, biblically accurate Jesus. I'm scared for them. I'm scared for the day they realize that. Yeah, they saw a white table and some food on it. They said, "Oh my God, it's the Last Supper." It's not. The Olympics are from Greece. This was all a reference to Dionysus and a Dionysian supper. You know, this is a banquet to the god of wine. We're celebrating kind of this ancient Greek, you know, mythological.
Low key, that kind of like confused me as well because I'm like, why did they choose that painting? Or like, if it's like, wouldn't they want to do like a French, like iconic
Well, no, the
painting?
Olympics are Greek, so it's like, you know, I think it's in the like the grand tradition
right.
of the Olympics being like a Greek thing.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah, and I saw like a couple of people were like, there's a part of the opening ceremony with like a horse and like a person riding the horse, and people were tracing it back to the pale rider on a pale white horse and the countenance of death. And sometimes not everything is a reference to the Bible. And I think it's okay to say that. People love to pull a random Bible quote and be like, "This is that. The second coming is here. Revelations." I'm like, oh my. The world has been allegedly ending every 2 years. I'm over it.
End it.
End it. Just end it at this point. Dumb. They love to be like, Jesus is coming back. The apocalypse is here. What's it called when the good people will rise up out of their clothes? The rapture. Yeah, when the good people will rise up and the rest of us are stuck here having to watch the war between heaven and hell. Yeah. If it's gonna happen, just let it happen already. I'm tired of every 2 years someone seeing Jesus in a slice of toast and that meaning the second coming is happening. Also, would this not be like the third coming? Because Jesus was alive, right? Okay, so he's alive, right? He gets crucified, he dies, and he comes back in 3 days. Wouldn't that be the second coming? And then this would be the third one?
You broke the fourth wall right here.
I think I did. It's like when you realize that the Mayan calendar is a circle. You know, like circles don't end. And everyone in 2012 was like, it's the end of the calendar. I was like, no, bitch, it's a circle. What happens when the calendar ends? It restarts. Come on now. All types of stupidity. I don't know a whole lot about religion. So if someone wants to correct me on this whole second coming, third coming thing, I'd love to realize why people think it's, I don't know. I just feel like wasn't there a second coming already? This would be third. I don't know. I'm just curious. I didn't grow up with religion, so I don't know a lot. I've been in a church maybe 5 times in my life. So someone educate me. I'm curious. I would love to learn. And last but not least, let's talk about Taylor Swift.
I don't have much to say.
She's releasing more shit.
So when it comes to like artists like her, she gives us all jobs. People in bars, drag performers, go dance. Like it's like RuPaul's Drag Race is keeping jobs. Taylor Swift, she's giving us jobs by having more and more music. However, when it's the same song,
parentheses blank version, parentheses blank version, you know,
or notes app, like I feel like if you want to be like a legacy, you can't just like treat your music like money. You got to treat it like art. And like that's why like when it like Cowboy Carter came out like around the same time as Tortured Poets, I loved that album because like it was a cohesive start to finish, whatever.
Cowboy Carter.
Yeah. And then like I'm going to listen to the entire, and especially, okay, so I have a whole album show now. If I were to do the Tortured Poets department, where does it end? Like how many people would it take to perform all versions?
Yeah, because let's say you run through the first album, right? You run through it, but then you have to do Tortured Poets Redux, the second version, and then the one that she just put out now. Like the jokes about her releasing stuff anytime someone blocks her from a number one, they're starting to be a little more founded in reality. Like Charlie hit number one with Guess, and all of a sudden we got another Tortured Poets department coming out. It's starting to be a little too coincidental. And I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I liked Folklore when it came out during the pandemic. I thought it had some good songs. I thought it had a couple good emotional tracks, you know. Aside from that, haven't listened to a whole lot of Taylor Swift, but I will give her flowers for that album and that album alone. That being said, this new stuff, I hear some of it sometimes at the bar. It's starting to feel a little corporate to me. Yeah, there's sometimes they'll play like remixes of what's that song with her and Post Malone?
Fortnite?
Yeah, that one or something like that. Yeah, that sometimes that'll play at the bar. It's starting to feel a little corporate, and the fact that she's just re-releasing all this shit, it's just starting to feel like it's less about the music and more about like actually just pumping it out and selling album. When you have to buy 4 different versions of the album to get a bonus track that's only available on this album or only available on that one, so you have to buy it 8 times over. It's a little too much.
Yeah.
Bring back LimeWire. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just a thought that I threw out.
Would you steal a car?
I would download one though.
Do you remember those commercials?
Yes, I would download a car for sure.
Or would you download?
Yeah, I would if I could. I'd download a car. My current car is a mess right now. I need to get her together. Praying for her. Yeah. Anything else about Taylor Swift? I'm kind of spent on her.
No, that was all I have for her.
Yeah. But you're right. She does continue to. She's Taylor Swift, RuPaul's Drag Race, Tyler Perry. They will continue to give people jobs. Yeah.
When and like regardless of like whatever like controversies they have, like they have they have power, I guess.
Yeah. I hate to acknowledge it, but yeah, there is power there. Because for every time Taylor Swift will put an album out, there will be a Taylor Swift themed night at Roscoe's or Scarlet.
Yep.
You know, like as for everything she puts out, the bars will continue to do it. So yeah, I guess people are getting paid. I guess I'll give her that. I will give her that. As it pains me to give her that.
Yeah. Little like viewing parties.
Over it. I can't.
we have to do them.
And with that, brings us to the end of the episode. Jules, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure working with you.
Likewise, I always have a good time with you. Do you want to once again promote any shows you have coming up and let the people know where they could follow you and get some info?
Yeah. You can follow me on Instagram, Julez Osco, JULEZOSCO. And I post all my shows there. If you are looking for a photographer, you can call me. If you're looking for any kind of dancer, performer, anything, let me know. Yeah. If you want to play Pokemon Showdown with me, I'm also down.
Okay. And your new show at Charlie's is at the end of the month, correct? Last Thursday.
Yeah.
Last Thursday. So that'll be the 29th.
Will Market Days be before or after?
This will come out after Market Days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you all said hi to me at the Scarlet stage.
Yeah. Yeah. By this point, Market Days will be over. So I hope everyone had a good and fruitful Market Days. I personally will be having a spa day after Market Days. I deserve it.
Yeah.
I will be working my ass off. So yeah, go follow Jules. Fantastic work all around. If you need a photo done, go to the it's Julez O Photo, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Book the bitch now. You can follow me at Poison Touch Pod to get all the podcast stuff. Submit your own questions at poisontouch.com or by calling in at 312-725-6483. Remember, if y'all call in and leave a voicemail, I know it's daunting, but I will pull tarot cards for you when I give the advice so that the spirits can, move through us all and give you some things to think about. And yeah, catch me for all my personal stuff at Crowkunk. That's on Twitter and Instagram as well. I'm mostly talking about comic books and Pokemon and other nerd shit on there. I've been reading a lot of Interview with a Vampire and Vampire Chronicles right now, so I've been tweeting about that a lot, which also, if you haven't seen it, watch it. The Vampire Renaissance is upon us. I'm telling you, Twilight is back. Like Interview with the Vampire is all that in a bag of chips. I'm living my 2010 fantasy right now, but I'm about to go get myself a pair of fangs. I'm living for it. So yeah, go watch some gay shit. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.